The following weeks unfolded like chapters in a book Amelia never imagined herself living. Each day at night enterprises pushed her harder than she thought possible. Yet, every time exhaustion threatened to overwhelm her, Alexander's presence seemed to steady her. He never openly favored her, but little things spoke volumes. When Amelia's old laptop suddenly stopped working, a brand new one appeared on her desk the next morning, no explanation given. When Emily came down with a fever and Amelia rushed out in tears, Alexander cleared her schedule himself, telling the staff, family comes first. Still, there was something he was holding back. She could feel it. A shadow lingered in his eyes when he looked at Emily, as though he saw more than just a baby. One evening, after the office had cleared out, Amelia found herself working late again. Emily was asleep in her stroller beside her desk, bundled in a blanket. The sound of soft footsteps approached, and when she looked up, Alexander was standing there. "You bring her here often," he said quietly, his gaze falling on the sleeping child. "I can't always afford extra hours at daycare," Amelia admitted. "But she's good here." Quiet. Alexander crouched slightly, his expensive suit brushing against the carpet as he studied Emily's tiny face. Something flickered in his eyes, pain, longing. "Do you have children, Mr. Knight?" she asked carefully. Silence stretched. His jaw tightened, his lips pressed into a hard line. Finally, he whispered, "I had a daughter." Amelia's breath caught. Had. She didn't make it. His voice cracked, the words heavy with grief he rarely showed the world. Years ago. She was only a few months old. And her mother, he stopped himself, closing his eyes briefly. They're both gone. Amelia's heart ached. Suddenly, everything made sense. The silver rattle. The way he remembered Emily's name. His quiet kindness. He saw in Emily a piece of what he had lost. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. For a moment, the CEO mask slipped away, leaving only a broken man in its place. "I swore I'd never get close to anyone again," he admitted. "But when I saw you on that plane, holding her, it was like looking at everything I lost, and everything I wished I still had." Tears blurred Amelia's vision. She reached out, placing her hand gently on his. "You're not alone anymore." The connection between them deepened after that night. Slowly, carefully, they began to orbit each other's lives outside the office. Alexander would stop by her tiny apartment under the pretense of dropping off groceries or fixing a leaky faucet. Emily grew attached to him, squealing with delight whenever he appeared, her little arms reaching out for him. Amelia tried to resist the feelings growing inside her. After all, he was Alexander Knight, the billionaire, the untouchable CEO. And she was just a poor girl struggling to survive. Their worlds weren't meant to collide. But love doesn't ask permission. One evening, after Alexander had read Emily a bedtime story, Amelia found herself standing in the kitchen with him, the air thick with unspoken words. He leaned closer, his voice low. "Amelia," he said, her name rolling off his tongue like a promise. "You've turned my world upside down." Her heart raced. "And you've given me a reason to believe in hope again." Their lips met in a tender, hesitant kiss, one that carried all the weight of their past sorrows and all the fragile hope of a new beginning. From that moment, everything changed. Alexander became a constant presence in their lives. He attended Emily's first birthday party, held in Amelia's cramped apartment, bringing balloons and a cake so extravagant it barely fit through the door. He walked with Amelia in the park, pushing Emily's stroller while ignoring the stares of strangers who whispered, "Is that Alexander Knight?" But their happiness wasn't without obstacles. The press soon caught wind of Alexander's mysterious relationship with a young woman and her child. Headlines blared, "Billionaire CEO seen with single mother, secret family." Amelia panicked, terrified of the scrutiny. "I can't do this," she cried one night. "I can't raise Emily under flashing cameras and judgmental eyes. She deserves peace." Alexander cupped her face in his hands, his voice steady. "Amelia, I've spent my life hiding behind walls. But with you, with Emily, I finally feel alive. I won't let anyone take that from us." His conviction silenced her fears. For the first time, she believed they could truly have a future together. Months later, Alexander made their relationship public in the most unexpected way. At a charity gala filled with flashing cameras and glittering gowns, he took Amelia's hand and pulled her onto the stage. "I've spent years building an empire," he said into the microphone, his voice carrying through the hall. But I've learned that wealth means nothing without love, without family. This woman and her daughter saved me. Gasps filled the room as Alexander kissed Amelia's hand, then bent to kiss Emily's forehead as she clapped in innocent delight. The world finally knew. And Amelia, the poor girl who once fell asleep on a stranger's shoulder during a desperate flight, stood tall beside the man she loved. Their story had begun in exhaustion and chance, but it blossomed into something extraordinary. A reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected moments lead us exactly where we're meant to be.